The first National Limiteds had very little Amtrak equipment, a compilation of whatever Amtrak was borrowing at the time. Penn Central showed up on National Limiteds all the years I was riding it up to 79. First time I ever rode it was 75. It was mainly Amtrak equipment, but our seat check still said Missouri Pacific, which is kind of cool. So this would have been a 1971. I think we got one. Yeah, we got one car that's been repainted. Amtrak tried to cherry pick the best cars that were on the market when the class ones gave up their passenger service. The Penn Central track that the route went over in the 70s was notoriously terrible. I think our average speed was like 30 miles an hour when you looked at the distance and the time. The only place you went fast was on the Northeast Corridor. I think these cows could have caught up with the National Limited. Things were changing though. New SDPs started showing up in 73, 74. The National Limited still used to seem to get the hand-me-downs. You could still find E8s, E8Bs. There's one, an ex-Milwaukee, obviously. But most of the cars were repainted by Amtrak now. The National Limited would survive until October of 79. That'll do. Tiptoeing into Indianapolis. The end was near. Carter administration was going after Amtrak with an axe. Big changes were coming. And one of the changes is right there. No more steam heat. The last couple months of the National Limited before it died in October 79, we rode this a couple times, Amfleet equipped. It's down to usually one F40. They would have one 10x6 sleeper, and then the rest were Amfleet cars. At least they were the long distance ones. They were all in that phase, 3 paint. It was a far cry from 4 E8s lugging your old cars up over Horseshoe Curve and Yeah, one 10x6 sleeper, and the rest are Am fleets. At least there was an Am cafe in there. We're around Gallatin, Pennsylvania. All the way through Johnstown. Not too much different from the Pennsylvania. Doing the power swap at Harrisburg. Our E8s have cut off. GG1902 has come up. They lasted until April 25th, 1980. I'm going to scurry down the platform and see if I can get those 4 E8s moving off, because they're not long. The SDPs are out there, and I've heard these new F40s are coming too. I hustled down the platform and climbed up on a baggage car, or one of those baggage wagons. Sure enough, these 4 old E8s started to head out. Actually, they weren't all that old if you think about it. They were built like 53, 54, 55. But hearing 4 of them taking us up over Horseshoe Curve was awesome. They were showing their age, though. This was a normal consist for the National Limited from Harrisburg down to DC. My very first story in trains, or second story, was about a ride in 77 behind 902. Me and my trusty Boy Scout watch, we found that we were going a mile every 30 seconds. I wasn't that good in math, but to me that's 120 miles an hour. You never know. Once in a while, some of those repainted and re-equipped E9s that had head-end power put on, they might show up once in a while, but not very often. I regret not taking pictures more when we would take the National Limited from DC to St. Louis, and took it from Kansas City one time, but anyway, maybe it'll come back someday. Probably not. We'll talk to you later, folks.